Last night, protest rallies in support of reforms to the education system and it not being impacted by political maneuvering were held in 13 Croatian cities under the slogan "Croatia can do better." Some 25,000 people gathered in Zagreb's Ban Jelačić Square, young and old, students and workers, mothers, children and grandparents, asking that Croatia's outdated education system does not take their children hostage, rendering them unemployable in the future. Despite all the hardships, the government is to carry on working, this according to a joint statement issued last night by Prime Minister Tihomir Orešković and his two bickering deputies Tomislav Karamarko and Božo Petrov, following a coffee date the three enjoyed yesterday. The statement further reads that the government is to continue working at full throttle and that all ministers, the deputies and assistants, regardless of party affiliation, are responsibly working on all the projects that have been launched. The Croatian government has refrained from entering into new debt due to political instability. A statement by the Ministry of Finance said that Finance Minister Zdravko Marić and National Bank Governor Boris Vujčić presented positive trends in economic growth to investors in Frankfurt and London, receiving a positive reaction. However, they've decided to postpone the issuing of this year's Eurobonds until the domestic political uncertainties have been resolved. However, in a press conference held today, former Finance Minister Boris Lalovac has described the postponement of the Eurobond issue as investors showing their distrust of Croatia. The government crisis might not end up being the only crisis that Croatia is going through, as a constitutional crisis might ensue, namely the fact that the Parliament's Committee on the Constitution has failed to agree on the 10 names of potential Constitutional Court judges that need to be approved by Parliament is pushing Croatia towards a constitutional crisis, as if the new Constitutional Court judges are not appointed by June 7th, the court faces the possibility of losing quorum when the mandate of the current bench of judges expires. Another meeting of the Committee on the Constitution has been announced for today. Prime Minister Tihomir Orešković and First Deputy Prime Minister Tomislav Karamarko have received a delegation of the British American Tobacco Company. The company has completed the integration of Croatia's TDR and has announced fresh investments in Croatia with some €30 million, as well as creating new jobs. And the Croatian Postal Service is issuing new stamps dedicated to Croatian tourism. The first motives are that of Zadar, recently named Europe's top destination, and depicting the sea organ and sun salutation. In sports, in Croatian football, Istra 1961 has managed to avoid relegation after defeating Šibenik and Pula last night 5-4 in a penalty shootout after a 1-1 draw in their first division qualification match. And the weather, changeable with cloud coverage and some sunny spells during the afternoon and evening. There'll also be some thunderstorms in places, more pronounced in the west of the country, primarily in the northern and central Adriatic. There's a slim chance of wetness in the east and south. Winds moderate southwesterly inland, while the Adriatic will see light to moderate southeasterly and southwesterly winds. See slight, moderately choppy in places, visibility good. Top temperatures between 20 and 25 degrees. Unsettled until the end of the week inland, with frequent rain showers accompanied by thunder. Changeable weather along the coast, particularly in the north, where local showers are expected until the end of the week. Showers are also possible in Dalmatia, particularly in its south. Moderate southwesterly and westerly winds in places.